Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be understanding circles. So let's start. Before I start, let me tell you that I have also made a part 1 of this video in which I have explained the basic fundamental concepts. And if you want to, if you are new to circles, I suggest you watch that video first so as to get a better idea of what exactly circles are and also to get an idea of the parts of circles. This is part 2 in which I have explained the slightly more difficult concepts. Alright, so let's start. First of all, let me draw a circle. A circle is drawn. So this is our circle. Now, first of all, let me say that now I'll just mark it. Now I've explained many terms in the earlier video, but just for reference, I'll also mark it center here. Let's say this is the center. Center is basically the point at which you keep the tip of the compass when drawing it, and yeah, I know you all know that. So the O is our center. Center, I'll write it down as well. Alright, now let's say that a line segment comes towards the circle. I'll take a scale to do this exactly. Yeah, it comes towards the circle like this, touches the circumference of the circle at one point and then leaves it. Alright, so let's take it like this. Like, yeah, so now let's say that yes, I think that looks better. Now it only strikes the circle at one point, not at more than one. In my diagram it might be looking more than one, but it's actually just one point on the circumference of the circle. Alright, so this line segment, let us mark that as CD. And now CD is your tangent. Understood? So the tangent is basically a line segment which strikes the circle at one point and then leaves it. As you can see in this case, I'll mark that with pink here. So that is our tangent. A line segment which strikes the circumference of the circle at one point does not enter the circle and then leaves. Okay. Now let's say that there is one more line segment, but this time that line segment pierces the circumference of the circle at one point and then leaves it like this. So I'll mark this as EF. So as you can see, EF is also a line segment, and this time it has entered the circle from one point on the circumference right here, and then it has exited on another point on the circumference right here, and in the middle part it was running through the circumference. Such a line segment is known as a secant. It is known as a secant. Alright guys. So now let's understand one more thing here. I'll draw another circle to prevent any hodgepodge from occurring in this diagram. Let's say this is it. So what I'll do is I'll mark a certain part of this circle in let's say I'll do it in, let's say, white color. So I'll mark a particular part of the circle, of the circumference of the circle like this. There we go. Now I think it has become a little off to the side. I'll be more exact this time. Much better. So the part of the circle which is in white, let's say that is AB. AB is called an arc. So what is an arc? An arc is basically any part of the circumference of a circle. It is a continuous part of the circumference of the circle and is denoted by this symbol. Alright. Now as you can see that now I'll draw another arc here. Let's say I'll do that in this color. So I'll start from here and go along the remaining part of our circle. Like this, like this, like this, like this. And as you can see that this particular arc is covering more circumference of the circle than the first one. And in fact, it's actually covering more than half of the part of the circle. More than half of the basically the circumference of the circle. So I actually could not make an absolute exact arc right here. I'll try and again. There we go. Now you might be seeing that there's I don't know. You just take it to be this it's kind of, I don't know, it's not perfect, but you get the idea. So in this case, let's mark this the point. So the point for, so it will go from here all the way till here, and this arc, as you can see, is much larger than the original arc. So this arc will be called the major arc. Major arc, and this is the smaller arc. So this will be called the minor arc. Okay, an arc which covers less than half of the circumference of the circle is a minor arc, and one that covers more than half is the major arc. Okay, now I'll explain a semicircle. Now the semicircle is basically an arc that covers half of the circumference, like this. So one that covers half of the circumference like this. What has it made this? So let's this be AB. So AB is called a semicircle. One half of the whole arc of a circle is called the semicircle of that circle. Okay, and understood? Now I'll explain you what is a sector of a circle. Sector. So let's say it is another circle I'll draw here. Now let's say that I mark the center like this, and then I take two radii. I'll take two radii from here, yeah, and take one of them till here, and the other I'll take till let's say here, like this. So as you can see, let this point be O, this be A, this be B. So the part of a circular region of the plane enclosed by an arc of a circle and its two bounding radii is called the sector of the circle. Alright, so this part, as you can see, is much smaller, so we'll call it the minor segment. Sorry, sector. It will be called the minor sector. Sector. And this part will be called the major sector, as it is bigger than half of the circle, like here. Now let's understand the segment. So let's say I'll draw a circle here, and I'll take a chord. I'll take like this. Let's mark this AB. So AB is a chord. Okay. So as you can see, the chord is dividing the circle into two parts. One part is this part, and the other part is this whole part. So in this case, each of the parts of the circle which are divided by the chord are known as your segments. And this is a segment, and this is the second segment. As you can see that the segment which is in yellow is much smaller. So it's smaller than half the circle. So we'll call it the minor segment. And the other one, since it's more than half of this part, so we'll call it the major segment. And I think that this is enough for this video. I'll also make a part 3 on circles if required, and if I feel that any important parts of the circle are left. Possibly I'll make it, and if I make it, I'll add its link in the description. So I'll see you in the next video, and bye. Please subscribe by hitting my channel logo. It's free.